Welcome back to Gear Check Games. This is episode 42 of our Kingdom Hearts
Donald is dead.
1.5 for the PS4 playthrough.
Aha, 42! I knew it!
God, even in the deepest, darkest darkness, Sora just can't contain his enthusiasm and his love of life.
Yeah.
In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only the Sora dance.
Yes.
What the hell is this?
The hell is that? Oh hey, we're inside a behemoth.
There's a glimpse of the inside of Krusty the Clown.
Oh yeah, that just took me back up. I was like, how does this place work? Oh. Thankfully it doesn't make you see whatever was lurking in the darkness twice.
Goes back into the same portal.
The hell was that? Hey, Trey, edit in the Abe Simpson taking off his hat gif.
Maybe, yes. So yeah, this part of the game is just like, it's just Sora and Co. going through all the levels they made along the way.
It's the last hurrah for every level, but not really, because I looked at the thumbnails for the Raws.
Is the rest?
It's like a boss rush, but it's just regular enemies.
Yeah.
It's a room rush.
It's like, hey, was the Hades Cup not enough for you? Here are the same enemies again, again.
Yeah, I guess the Hades Cup, like, if you just want to do like the normal progression.
Right.
Wow, that was a bad block. If you just want to do normal progression, you'll never see the Hades Cup. So like, this would be the last time you see these guys.
Right.
God, the noise large bodies make when they hit things.
It's so satisfying. It sounds like somebody taking a balloon and just shaking it in their hands.
Yeah, it sounds like, oh god, what's like not a regular old balloon, like a buff balloon, a sturdy balloon.
Buff balloon.
Yeah, a buff balloon.
Like a Mylar balloon?
Yeah, there you go.
Or not as crinkly though.
Yeah, instead of Mr. Patch and Banjo-Tooie, they should have just called him Buff Balloon.
99 buff balloons.
99 buff balloons is just like a room full of drift blims from Pokemon.
Yes, Driftloon is indeed a buff balloon.
I swear we've got a buff Driftloon image somewhere in the reservoir.
Yeah.
Simba.
Oh yeah.
I am Mushu.
Yeah, I haven't used him yet. He's really fun to use. He's kind of broke, honestly. He puts out a crap load of DPS, as we're soon to see.
I like his summon animation. Kind of references the movie.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you're not Mushu. You don't sound like Eddie Murphy.
Well, he sounds more like Eddie Murphy than the live-action Mushu, because there's no Mushu.
There's no yeah. Is that movie still coming out? Like, I know it got postponed.
I think it...
I would have definitely bought a ticket to see the live-action Mulan if instead of Mushu, Mulan was just being followed around by actually just Eddie Murphy.
Or do like the genie in the live-action Aladdin, like awkwardly mo-capped Eddie Murphy onto like a CGI character.
So
it's just Eddie Murphy with like a really long body and a tail.
We stretched him.
And he's just like red.
But he's still like the size of an adult human.
They stretched him in the Willy Wonka stretching machine. It's back!
They stretched him in the torture machine from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh
god. Torture machine in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Yeah, do you not remember the bit where
I've never seen that movie,
Potts...
sorry.
You've never seen that movie? It's a good one. The bit where Caractacus Potts Sr. gets put into the prison with all the other inventors because they think he's his son, Caractacus Potts Jr., and they sing, oh god, what's the song? It's like, so for every big mistake you make, be grateful. That mistake you'll never make again.
They sing the cheery ballad, "We're Gonna Torture You Now."
No, the torture doesn't happen the torture is just implied to have happened in the past. And it's also just...
They sing the cheery torture ballad, and then play the cheery torture ballad on loop over the course of 3 months.
And then they do the torture dance.
And that's the real torture.
There's only one song people should remember from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and that is Toot Sweet.
Toot Sweet?
Yeah, it's a good song.
I feel like we've had this conversation before, and you conflated Toot Sweet and Truly Scrumptious, which are technically two separate songs, but they have
the same. It's the same character.
There's a song that's Toot Sweet and Truly Scrumptious together.
Yeah, it's like a reprise.
Yeah, and I believe that it's.
I think Truly
it's part of Lovely Lonely Man. I can't remember.
Okay,
anyway,
we didn't talk about it in the Coliseum, the actual Coliseum, but can we just take a moment to appreciate how the Hades Cup poster is amazing on many levels?
Mm-hmm.
Like, not only is it just slapped on top of the previous 3 tournaments, but also the artwork that they use of Hades, apart from just being delightful, is just a frame from the movie ripped out.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Because he's holding the little, like poison sucker that he tries to feed to baby Herc in Olympus.
How come we never get that as like a trinket in this game?
That should have been the Keyblade you get for the Hades Cup, just a tiny little deadly lollipop.
It should have been.
We need a version of Kingdom Hearts where Sora's just running around with a giant lollipop.
You need the Snow White world, and you get the Bad Apple Keyblade.
That would have been amazing.
Was that in Birth by Sleep?
No, it was in the mobile one.
Because I know Birth by Sleep has a Snow White world.
Yeah.
You get the Bad Apple Keyblade, and it's just like a Toho dance.
It's just a police department. Topical, but maybe too topical.
There's a Cinderella world in that game where instead of helping Cinderella, you help her little mice friends.
Yeah, you help the rats. Cinderella, you can do it, Cinderella.
Yeah.
I believe we complained about that world in Atlantica.
Oh yeah.
Although, level design wise, it's a fine enough world. It's just like,
it's cool. Yeah.
Why this music? Why? 1,000 times. Why?
So these enemies shouldn't be this hard. For some reason, I'm just playing poorly and just getting hit a lot.
Well, like we said, that's kind of what Kingdom Hearts trains you to do. Like, until you start tackling the more challenging optional content, it's just, you can just kind of take hits if you use the right abilities.
You know, you can hit the square button when they're about to hit you, and they don't hit you.
Yeah. I don't have the best timing. Oh yeah,
Such
that thing regenerates.
Is ridiculous.
I think that thing went back to full health after it disappeared.
Yeah, they do that, I think.
Boy, Squall, you ain't. Those fireballs are sluggish as hell.
I don't have enough MP to use gravity.
Yeah.
I like that when they spawn in, their shield spawns in first, and then the actual guy.
I mean, the shield is the guy. It's where the brain is.
That's so weird.
Which means that Goofy, when he wields the Defender shield, is just carrying around the corpse of a Heartless.
I always thought they were just 2 separate Heartless working together.
Still, the same thing applies.
Now that I think about it, if you took a Defender, without the shield part of it, they kind of give off the same vibe as a lot of, Dark Souls enemies, where they're just these kind of creepily non-emotive suits of armor.
Yeah. And so it was that Ichabod,
honestly, the Defender, even with the shield, would probably be right at home in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like a weird mummy man, isn't he? Or like a knight.
Just add some rust and some blood to him.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh.
Okay, so it's not just my internet.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, is this
Trey, what's wrong with your
or...
PS4 that we're watching live in real time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The world is falling apart.
Oh god, it's not only the end of the world, it's the end of the LP.
That reminds me, we've got to do an Arkham Asylum playthrough eventually.
You know what probably was? It was probably like iTunes updater was probably like, hey, I'm gonna pop up and interrupt this recording.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, doesn't Scarecrow have like a Psycho Mantis moment in that game?
Yeah, but worse,
few.
He straight up actually crashes the game.
Oh, nice.
Wait, what?
And you have to load back in. I think I might be misremembering a little bit, but I'm pretty sure he legit just
I don't think he does it on
crash, and you have to load it back into the game.
I'm 99% sure he can't crash the game on console because console games just aren't allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But it does like a fake soft reset.
Man, I am so long overdue for playing Arkham Asylum. Because that game just looks awesome. Yeah. I'm not even like a huge
I really enjoy
Batman
fan.
I
really enjoyed Arkham Asylum, and I'm not really like...
Like, I like Batman, but
I'm not really
like,
into like comic book heroes.
Yeah, I'm not like ride or die for Batman.
Really short, so like, you can... Like, you could play it in like a day.
Is the PC version good?
I don't know. I know that the PC version of some of the Arkham games are
horrendous.
Let's say racked with problems.
I think I only heard of the third one being racked with problems on
Arkham
PC.
Knight, you literally couldn't launch the game until they released a patch. So, but yeah,
that's
I mean,
not
they're
good.
probably okay.
Part of me wants to get it on PS3 because, like, I have this weird thing where even if I didn't have a console at the time a game was released that got ported to future platforms, I kind of feel like, well, how would I have played it like if I had wanted to play it at the time?
So you want to
It's a stupid and irrational way to be, but like...
No, I mean, I don't know. I enjoy, like, running original hardware where I can, just for fun.
Yeah.
You know. Because it's a lot of times it's a slightly different experience, and it's interesting to see, like, the original situation.
It's like nobody's going to agree with me on this, except for maybe Nick, but in spite of the fact that there are like dozens of better options that I own and are more easily accessible, I still get a special kind of nostalgia from playing the classic Sonic Genesis games off of the Mega Collection on GameCube.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like how I bought, like,
but it's not original hardware, Joe.
Well,
I know.
Yeah. But, like, I bought a physical copy of Symphony of the Night for, like, $60, where I could have just spent $20 on a Castlevania collection for the Switch.
Actually, Symphony of the Night isn't on that.
Is it not?
And neither is Rondo of Blood, which is weird to me.
Yeah, the PS4 got Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night, but not the Switch didn't get it.
And
Well,
before we get too far off this, I know the Sonic Mega Collection is not original hardware, but it's like that's the version I grew up with of those games.
Yeah.
That's the one that came out on PS2 and GameCube.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, PS2 and Xbox I think got Mega Collection Plus.
Well, I think PS2 actually got both. Which was...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen those in
Collection and
stores.
Plus. Which was, like, just a weird little thing.
It's so weird to fight all these enemies again, where you just have to waylay into them more. So you're like, even in their original worlds, they weren't this hard.
See, I just used a bunch of magic and never really had that much advantage.
Oh,
Wow.
whoa.
I've never actually seen one of his fireballs reflected like that.
Yeah. I did it with another enemy earlier in the game. I reflected something back at a different enemy and it
You
worked.
reflected Squall's fireball into Cloud.
Yeah, that was pretty
That's
dope.
what it was.
But we were too focused on
On
how long
orange
that fight was
slices for
taking.
Sora.
God. Not to worry though. I will get my revenge on those two boys.
So will Ryu Hayabusa.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, this is another instance where they just connect all of the middle of Agrabah together as one giant room.
Don't worry, Trey. They'll get their comeuppance by having to appear in Advent Children.
Well, only one of them.
Well, only Cloud, but
The other one had to appear in his original game. Nah, I stand Final Fantasy VIII, don't get it twisted, but I know how the internet thinks of it.
I watched a speedrun and they turned me into fans of that game.
Is that one of those games where it's just its mechanics are just very poorly explained, and like if you understand
Yeah, its
how
mechanics
it
are
works,
just
it's more fun?
weird.
I guess that describes most games.
It's just like a weird thing. 'Cause, like,
Minus the mechanics being poorly explained.
you can't really grind in 8 because the enemies level with you.
Yeah, so it'll make fights longer if you grind. Or just harder. There's a summon early in the game you can get that if you grind, he's a hell of a lot harder to fight.
Oh
you
yeah,
have to fight...
like Ifrit, the proving exam for Balam Gardens.
Both Ifrit and Hades, because Hades can put like a crap load of status effects on enemies, so he's real good to have early on.
Hey, how you doing?
And you
put
get
some
him
effects on enemies. Hey.
Yeah. And he's really good to have early game, but like if you grind a lot to fight him, he's going to be a lot tougher to unlock. When it's better to just, as soon as you get him, fight him.
Joe, I know that was a James Woods, but it sounded a lot like a Rodney Dangerfield. I tell you, I get no respect in the underworld. Which, didn't Rodney Dangerfield play Satan in, like, Little Nicky?
Yeah, he played old man Satan.
Little Nicky?
What is this? It's an Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, no.
Really ridiculous movie about Adam Sandler being the son of the devil. It's also just very crass. It's a weird movie.
Wow, an Adam Sandler movie that has tasteless jokes? Get out of here.
Although, that movie does confirm one thing. Popeye's chicken is in fact good.
Again, par for the course for Adam Sandler, the shameless product placement.
Okay, it's better than Dunkachino. That was
Dunkachino.
I
unforgivable.
To this day, I love that ad. What's my name? Dunkachino. It's a whole new game.
Don't mind if I do.
If you want creamy goodness, I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Dunkachino.
This has been a stealth promotion for Dunkin' Donuts.
God, I wish.
See, if we make fun of it ironically, people won't catch on.
Well, you see, Joe, Dunkin' Donuts doesn't exist anymore. It's just called Dunkin'.
Wait, really? They changed it?
Yeah, they pulled the KFC.
It's now Donkey Donuts. Because you're epic.
What is KFC now? Kentucky Fried Cookery?
No, it's just KFC.
Oh.
I think that its legally registered trademark is now just KFC. I think it's still technically Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I think that its registered trademark is no longer an acronym. I think it's just its name.
Is it one of those I Heart NYC things where the state of Kentucky was like, yeah, we want money and proceeds from this, and KYC?
Probably.
KFC is like, nah, dog.
The explanation, which I believe is apocryphal, is that they were no longer legally allowed to be called chicken, but I'm fairly certain that that's not true.
But are chickens not in the public domain?
Well, no, it was the, like...
Because it's not actually chicken.
Paul McCartney bought the rights to
tofu and sawdust.
Yeah, the apocrypha is that, like, the chickens had been so modified that they were no longer legally allowed to be called chickens. But, like, I don't think that's true. Although something similar is true about Taco Bell. You ever notice how their menu items are called beefy and not beef?
Yeah, because it's like... only like 10% beef.
Yeah, it's not beef. Well, it is.
Try
it's
our
got
new
beef
beefish
in it.
taco.
It sure is tasty.
Yeah.
They can still call things like their chicken and their steak is what it is.
Yeah,
but
their
not
chicken
the
and their
beef.
steak are real, but their ground beef is not.
It's so weird that they can't just have ground beef because that's like one of the cheapest things to get in America.
It's also very annoying because part of what they preserve it with is silicon dioxide. I believe it's SiO something. Which
you forget, Trey, Taco Bell is also one of the cheapest things to get in America.
So, one of the preservatives they put in their ground beef is basically just sand. And, like, it's not harmful in any way. Like, don't get that
sand.
twisted. But it does, like, if you get, like, the bottom of the barrel of their beef, it does have a distinctly beachy flavor.
I like these giant
Taco
zigzagoon
Beach.
fish.
I never noticed that before, but yes, they do have that color palette in Final Mix.
Wait, what is their color palette?
Welcome to Gear Check Games Does Kingdom Hearts, where we talk about fast food restaurants for 15 minutes.
I have a hot take, and you may or may not agree, but like Kingdom Hearts 1.5 better than Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Like if this hit, you know, optional bosses notwithstanding, because I guess the original. Well, yeah, the original release of like North American Kingdom Hearts had all of the optional bosses except for the Xemnas fight, which is just stupid,
laser hands.
Bad. But like, if it was just the original release of Kingdom Hearts with like the updated music and the like redone textures and widescreen HD everything, I think that would be better than what we actually got. Like, I'm not convinced that Final Mix is an improvement to this game.
Yeah, it's really, like, the biggest thing that makes Final Mix worse is that in the original game, getting the Ultima weapon was just like a neat thing that you could do.
Yeah.
Whereas in Final Mix, it's like, oh hey, you want to spend 20 extra hours playing this game?
I guess some of the new abilities are nice.
Well, yeah, like the slide dash.
Yeah,
or like
the slide dash, that's a good one. That was not in Kingdom Hearts 1.
The stun combo finisher is kind of nice. I exploit the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Or the spin dash that wasn't in the original, but it was in the Game Boy Advance version.
Yeah, when are they gonna give Sora a drop dash?
When they uncover the Sora 3 and Knuckles prototype.
So is doing all these little areas actually necessary to progress, or do you just come in here to get the little, like, the nice little bonus items that you have to defeat all the enemies to actually get to the chest?
I don't know, because I cannot ignore treasure in these games.
Yeah.
That is my downfall.
They seem to be. I think you can skip them, but I never do. I just go straight for it.
Because it doesn't, like, change the appearance of the, like, outside area at all when you beat these things.
Yeah.
And you can just go right to the next area without even coming in here.
Okay, so they are optional.
Maybe
Well,
in the
you
original.
can go to the next, like, link in the chain without coming in here. I don't know if you can leave the whole area without doing all of these, because I've never tried it either, because, like Joe, I just can't ignore treasure.
Yeah, free treasure.
So I don't know when I equipped it, but I have a new combo finisher for the air combo. That little spin he does in the air.
Oh,
and it does so much damage. I love it. I'm so glad I have it now. I think you do get it late in the game.
I think the visual change is that, like, the pillar of light goes away, and instead it's just like a hole with smoke coming out of it.
I thought so, but I thought that's what happened, but then Trey beat another area and the pillar of light was still there.
Yeah, some of them aren't disappearing.
Maybe you missed something?
The one I noticed it
what
on
just
was
happened?
Agrabah, which he combed like a... He combed pretty hard.
Well, isn't there a...
What?
There's only like one treasure box in each area.
You just jumped through a window that was closed.
Yeah,
He jumped
I was
through
gonna
it and
say
then the
that-
battle started, and then a door and like window cover just like right in there without any sort of animation or anything.
Sure, Goofy will be happy to see that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, it's so tiny.
It's
Plus
a
never mind.
tiny little
extra
shield.
defense.
Do I go for looks or stats?
It's like one of those. It's like one of those RPG items that's like the most powerful item in the game, but it's like a pair of underwear, and it's like it offers 0 protection, so it pushes you to push your body to its limits.
It's like the most powerful female armor in insert RPG here.
Man, there's like barely
like
any Heartless
the-
here.
Notorious chainmail
Did Captain Hook
bikinis.
shoot them all in the middle of their cadenzas?
Yeah. Well, we know that he's prone to bad form.
That's
so.
true.
When is Sora gonna get a chainmail bikini?
Did I ever manage to successfully complete the "you shot a man in the middle of his cadenza" joke when we were actually here the first time?
I don't know, but
I don't think
regardless, I
so.
laughed my ass off during those episodes.
Dude.
Both while recording them and while watching them.
Yeah. We just had so much knowledge of the movies themselves, it just fed into it.
This is
I don't know what it is about Peter Pan that just tickles my funny bone,
I think for me it's Hook.
and this
The
was
final
the
area.
point where Trey realized, wait a minute, we have unfinished business for Ansem.
We do. There's a friendly yellow bear.
Have we
with a
ever
red shirt.
said Ansem's name a single time in this playthrough
Without
without
me
somebody
saying
doing the
him,
goofy
Will.
voice?
No, and we never will.
It's required.
Or my name isn't Iron Sam?
And it isn't.
So this is a nice little reprieve before the rad as heck boss fight we gotta do at the beginning of next episode.
Yeah,
where we fight Omega Poo.
Omega Poo.
We have to fight Eeyore with and without tail.
Winnie the Pooh's mouth opens up to reveal like a xenomorph mouth.
It's just a little...
Feeling lucky,
Just a smaller poo.
Oh my god.
But it'll still impale your brain.
Well, next time, ready your record players. We will fight Chernobog.
Oh yeah. And if we lose to him, he'll get to smash our head with a hammer.
And then we fight. And then we have to fight Mr. Stokowski.
Yes.
Mr. Stokowski.
Rise from your grave.
Bye.
Bye.